What's good, everybody? It's Lucky. First and foremost, I hope y'all been taking care of yourselves. I know I have. Today, I'm gonna be talking to y'all about a winner's diet. I'm gonna be talking to y'all about three things. I'm gonna tell y'all what a winner's diet is, the value you get from having a winner's diet, and I'm gonna give y'all my perspective on how to adopt a winner's diet. So, without further ado, let's do it. What is a winner's diet? You may ask, and I appreciate you for asking that. A winner's diet is essentially a diet cognizant of the person, place, or thing that you want to become in the future. So, winner's diet, that seems interesting. Does it have anything to do with food? No, it does not. A winner's diet, or what you consume, has to do with several things in your life, not just what you eat or what you taste tangibly, what you see, what you smell, what you listen to, and what you touch. So, I'm going to speak for myself. I can't speak for nobody else. I want to be an extremely successful business owner. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be an investor. I want to be the greatest version of myself physically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, and occupationally. Okay, those are a couple of goals that I have that I'm on the road to achieving. Now, a winner's diet, how does that correlate to your goals? Or in this example, my goals? Well, that brings us to the next topic, the value of a winner's diet. Hmm. So I want y'all to picture this. I want y'all to picture being the version of yourselves that you sought out to become. I'm gonna paint a very vivid description for myself. Imagine, Lucky, you are in Miami or Atlanta in a high-rise penthouse. The rent is over five figures a month. Every day when you wake up, you can go out to your balcony and you can see the city. You can see the entire city. You can see the ocean. You can see $1 million cars casually. If you go to your gym, you'll connect with a millionaire, no doubt. You'll connect with a business owner. You'll connect with somebody who has a high income producing skill. You'll connect with somebody like that within an instant. Okay, babe. That's an example for myself. That's a winner's diet. Because if I'm in that environment, why wouldn't I thrive? Why wouldn't I continue to be the best version of myself? Why wouldn't I continuously be inspired and motivated? It's just impossible. But the value that having a winner's diet does to you is it allows you to become your surroundings. It allows you to get influenced by what you want to become. It allows you to continuously be inspired. It allows you to feel like you can make it happen, regardless of the odds and the percentages of it even being possible to be made happen. I read in an article that there are, I believe, a couple thousand billionaires on this planet. There's about 8 billion people on this planet. So if there's 3,500 billionaires and there's 8 billion people, I don't even think they're in the 0.001%. I think they're lower than that. And if you talk to a regular Joe, they will tell you that it's very unlikely that you will become a billionaire. And if you listen to them or a bunch of regular Joes who have that mentality, then you will adopt that same mindset. But if you hang out with a billionaire and his buddies and you ask them, how likely or how possible is it to become a billionaire? Or what advice would you give to the younger version of yourself if you wanted to mentor him on becoming a billionaire? They will say something completely different. They will say, it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. And they will give you the blueprint. Let me give you another example. If you talk to a regular Joe and if you ask him, how do you get a Lamborghini? He might give you your perspective. He might tell you, you know, you got to be be doing X, Y, and Z to get a Lamborghini, or even having a Lamborghini is impossible unless you want to go into hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt, and that you got to do X, Y, and Z. I ain't trying to hear that. That person does not have a Lamborghini himself. So what makes him qualified to tell you about getting a Lamborghini? Now, if you ask a person, if you're in a room full of 50 people and they each have a Lamborghini, and you ask them, how do you get a Lamborghini? What do you think they're gonna say? Oh, it's easy. All you gotta do is, do you see the pattern? Do you see the thing that is consistent, the thing that keeps happening? Do you notice the underlying theme of each of these examples? One party doesn't have what you want, and their perspective is very negative. Their perspective is it's unlikely. But the other party has exactly what you want, and their perspective is it's simple. It's not easy. It's simple. But all you got to do is this. A winner's diet is a diet cognizant of the person, place, thing that you want to become in the future. So, if you have a certain goal, if you have a certain goal, why are you not surrounding yourself with people who have achieved it? Why are you not surrounding yourself with people who are coming back from where you want to go? It's backwards. The world has been programmed backwards. And it just is what it is. But hopefully that allows for you to understand the value of why having a winner's diet is important. Now, let me give y'all a little bit more value before I give y'all my advice on how to adopt a winner's diet. Look, the moral of the story is having a winner's diet allows for you to borrow confidence from your mentors. Very, very important. Because at the end of the day, you only know what you know. You've only experienced what you've experienced. So if you surround yourself with somebody who's experienced what you want to achieve, you have no choice but to succeed because you're borrowing their confidence. And you know that the advice, the wisdom, and the blueprint that they give to you is not based off of inexperience. It's based off of, I've did this before. I've been doing this shit for the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I have hundreds of millions of dollars in my network or of assets, or I have made millions of dollars within the years of me being in this business or being in this industry. So I'm not just talking on my ass. I do this. So it allows you to borrow their confidence. Next, a winner's diet allows for you to influence people without having to force them or even convince them to do anything. I'll give you an example. Today I woke up at 4:45 a.m. like usual. I've been doing that since I came back or since I've moved back to college. And I won't lie, it's no joke. It's hard. But the hardest things in my life are the best and most fruitful things for me personally. I remember I was telling one of my buddies that I reconnected with. I was just telling it to him casually. Like, hey man, every day I wake up at 4:45 a.m. I do my usual routine, go ahead and do my devotion, personal hygiene, I clean my room, I write my goals down, and I pray before leaving the room. And I head over to the gym to work out. Then the caveat was I told him that the feeling after working out before the sun even rises, the feeling of being the first person in the gym and the first person in the gym and the first person to leave, not the first person to leave, but the feeling of being the only person in the gym is surreal. And it's only you versus you. So it's like I'm looking at the mirror, you know what I'm saying? I got my sprinter look on. I want it. And I accomplished my workout. After 60 minutes, I go outside to this balcony. The sun is not even up yet. Man, the sun can't even fuck with me, bro. The sun can't even fuck with me. And I told him that. He said he wanted to pull up on me. He said he wanted to feel that feeling as well. So today he pulled up. Today he woke his ass up at 3:50 a.m. or 4 a.m. whenever. He drove from his apartment to my apartment. And we got that work in. We did that work. Afterwards, we listened to high frequency videos. We listened to my winner's diet. Then we listened to some videos about stocks. And we looked at the view while pondering on how we want our empire to be built. Having a winner's diet is contagious. You no longer have to say too much. It radiates off of you. That discipline, it just looks, it reeks, it just smells like success. So that's why I believe having a winner's diet is valuable. Now, the caveat, how the hell do I adapt a winner's diet? I wake up every day at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I won't just be able to wake up at 4 a.m. It's going to be hard. You know, I've been eating junk food all my life. I won't just be able to start eating healthy overnight. It's going to be hard. I don't work out. Or I always watch bullshit on YouTube. Or I only hang out with bullshit people. How the hell do I change? Well, I appreciate you for asking that because it doesn't happen overnight. So I appreciate you for acknowledging that. Let's start with waking up early. In the beginning of the summer, I was drained from engineering because that shit is no joke, especially at a school like mine's. I believe I started waking up at 10 a.m. When I first started the summer, did that for a week. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. Then I started waking up at 7:30 a.m. because that's what I did during the school year. I did that. It was cool and all. I still wasn't feeling fulfilled. So I woke up at 7 a.m. That's when it started to get difficult. I believe this is 2.5 weeks into the summer. What caused me to jump from waking up at 7 a.m. all the way to 4:45 a.m. was me meeting a mentor. Me meeting a very successful guy. I'm not gonna give you the story of that. I'm just gonna say that after our encounter, at the very end, I said, "Hey, do you have any advice for me in terms of connecting with very successful people in the area? I'm here. I don't really see college students, and I don't want to hang out with college students, but what is an environment that I can go to that will allow for me to be surrounded by success?" He looked at me and he smiled. He gave me an answer. He said, every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 a.m. on the dot, a group of successful men work out at a lake club. You should come. He said, the only thing is, you will have to wake up early. When he said that to me, I feel like a fuse was lit in me. I had a need, which was to be surrounded by success, and I had something that could fulfill it. The only price that I had to pay was wake up at 4:30 or 4:45 in the morning. Well, if I really want that thing, then I have to pay the price. And this was a Sunday, so I said, I appreciate you for that, sir. Let's connect. I'll be there Tuesday morning. Mark my word. And I did that. So I went from 7 a.m. all the way down to 4:45 a.m. just because I wanted to be surrounded by those millionaires. And I did it. It was a phenomenal workout, and I was able to connect with a lot of successful people. And I've been doing that, working out, building relationships with those people over the last 100 days. So that's phenomenal. But you got to do that shit in increments. You got to drop it down every day by 30 minutes, another 30 minutes until you're at your desired time to wake up. It will not happen overnight, but it takes discipline and consistency. And there's no secret drug or pill or video that you'll be able to watch to be able to make that shit happen. You just got to do it. That's that. Let's talk about working out and food. Honestly, how bad do you want it? I don't know. I can't, ain't no secret pill. I feel phenomenal when I'm in shape. I feel phenomenal when I look in the mirror and I see my six pack. I see my V-shaped body. I see my big calves. I feel phenomenal when I eat the right foods. I feel energized. I feel fulfilled. I don't really feel tired. I notice that whenever I eat junk food, fast food, I feel sleepy. I feel like I want to go into a coma. But when I eat that healthy shit, when I eat protein, when I eat oatmeal for breakfast, I feel fulfilled. I don't even feel hungry for real. When I eat grapes as a snack, I get tired of eating because I know that the grapes are gonna fill me up. But if I eat a big ass bag of party size hot fries, I know that I'm gonna want to finish the bag. And then that next day, toilet ain't messing with you, if you know what I'm saying. But I don't know, how bad do you want it? You know, you gotta ask yourself, is this the best feeling? Is this the most that I can get out of life? What I'm currently feeling right now? There's gotta be more. That's why I'm not content, because I'm always looking for more. How I was feeling when I was living an average or mediocre life wasn't enough for me. So I went ahead and I seeked the wisdom that would allow for me to become the version of myself who would have that more, or who would feel different. And I went ahead and did that. So yeah, ask yourself, is what I'm feeling what I'm gonna feel for the rest of my life? Or am I supposed to feel more? And I'm still asking myself that every day. So it's not a one and done type of thing. It's the same thing with changing how early you wake up. Over time, you just consistently go up, 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 up. Over time, start waking up at noon, 11:30, 11, 10:30, 10, etc. So that shit takes time. And as far as surrounding yourself with winners or being an embodiment of your winner's diet, you just gotta cut off all the bullshit. You gotta focus. You gotta know what you want. You gotta have a clear goal, and you have to be able to reverse engineer it. You have to be able to know who to be surrounded with, what you need to know, the language you need to speak. You have to be able to eat, sleep, and breathe that shit, to be honest. And it's as simple as that. I eat, sleep, breathe success, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, cars, the art of money, the art of war and strategy. I eat, sleep, and breathe that shit. So if I'm not having a conversation about that, honestly, bro, I feel unfulfilled. I feel bored. I might yawn in front of somebody's face. And it's no disrespect. It's just I've been so cognizant of my winner's diet. I've been so consistent with it that if I'm talking about something that has nothing to do with it, I feel like I'm wasting my time. I feel like I can be doing something that could be furthering my life. But instead, I'm out here talking about BS. So I challenge y'all to get on the winner's diet bandwagon. I'm out here being an evangelist, bro. I'm spreading the gospel of the winner's diet. But yeah, I just wanted to give y'all my perspective, you feel me? At the end of the day, you gotta want it. I can't want it for you. I can't want it for you. If you can't keep up, gang, you're gonna continue to get left, because I'm gonna continue to go up. But yeah, this is just your daily dose of lucky. Wanted to give you that game. I hope y'all take care of yourselves. I'm gonna see y'all at the top, because the bottom is too crowded. Never look down on anybody unless you're willing to give them a hand to help them up. It's Lucky, and I'm out.